I am in so much pain right now, and you all are going to help me survive this. I have, for the first time in my life, started suffering extreme crippling migraines. It's tension headaches. It's this forward crushing pressure on the frontal lobe that then causes this cascade effect of pain through the whole body, nausea, throwing up, get sparkly static over my vision where I can't see anything. I woke up from it yesterday feeling like I had just survived a near-death experience. I felt like I had just crawled out of the grave and I did not know who I was. And I thought for sure it was over yesterday. Woke up again this morning with the same thing going on. I can't do anything that's productive to my normal life. And I just decided I'm not going to sit around in my deathbed for a whole nother day. Rather than lounge around and do that again, I'm going to try an experiment and see if maybe the opposite of what you would expect to do. You know, everyone says, oh, lie down and rest, relax, it'll fade. That doesn't seem to be working for me. So I'm going to try to go off and have an adventure and see if that cures me. So I have loaded up the adventure mobile here, the old rugged pickup truck of a former PNWer, and I'm going to go do what I've been postponing for a long time, which is to go out into the world and do some exploring. I have to say, I haven't even left the driveway yet, but I already feel a little bit better. Just the thought of getting out there and doing something different has invigorated my neural pathways, and it's telling my brain, like, stop hurting him. This is all just coming down my driveway. This is the daily commute. So here we have the crossroads where we go to the left to go back into civilization, quote unquote, or go right to go to more primitive areas. This place fascinates me to no end. I don't know how a complex like this comes together, how many people are living here, and what their situation is. Well, look at this compound they've assembled. Is this what my future holds if I ever try to create my little outpost community? We'll see. Now we head down into the gulch. At least I think that's a gulch. Not entirely clear on what a gulch is yet, but it feels right, you know? Now, if you see way over yonder, that radio tower or cell tower or whatever it is, I've been trying to get up there for a long time, trying to figure out how to get to it. I'm always fascinated by radio towers of any kind, and I must find it. This cracks me up. Not Bald Knob Road. It's Buck Point, not Bald Knob Road. So I'm extremely close to the tower now. I have a feeling that the access road for it is this little thing right here. I'm not a big fan of trespassing on personal private property. I'll trespass any day on corporate property or government property. Anything that is an entity rather than a person. Because worst case scenario, you get fined or something. Or go to jail, I guess, but oh well. But I feel more uneasy about trespassing on people's land, because then it's emotional, then it's personal. And here's the legendary Bald Knob Road that I've heard so much about.
I've always felt a strange draw to these dusty, wide-open plains scattered with cryptic remnants of ancient projects and abandoned endeavors. There's something soothing to me about the quiet emptiness of it all, the sensation of liminal space. I'm in the padding between places, a buffer between the grinding of world events, and nothing will ever happen here.
Well, I do have to admit, that is a damn fine debris basin. Well, it's no radio tower. but I guess it's the best I'm gonna get today. Yes. Look at that. Some genuine debris in this debris basin. I got my money's worth.
I love finding things. I love stumbling backstage, sneaking away from the guided tour, seeing things that aren't meant for the public. Why is this massive 3-story dish standing in a random orchard next to a windowless shack and an old truck? I could answer the question in 3 seconds with the spoiler machine in my pocket, but I prefer to just wonder. I am so comically small in these systems. I build my home and live my life on one tooth of a gear in a planet-sized machine built to feed me and my friends to the rulers of this world. It's comforting to admit it, even accept it. It's all far, far beyond me, and the best I can do is sneak off the assembly line whenever I get a chance, steal a moment of my own in a hidden patch of sunlight, and enjoy a little unsanctioned beauty. I don't have the energy to invest in conspiracy theories, the endless rabbit hole of what may or may not be happening behind the veil, but I do like to wonder. I spent this whole day just wandering and wondering, luxuriating in the sensation of movement without purpose. I think the constant pressure of purpose has been squeezing my brain too tight. I need more time to just be alive and at play with the world.
And we're back. It's been a hell of a day. Beautiful day. A healing day. I return once more to the outpost. To my boy Bob. My friends are back. I'm back. My friends are back. Maybe they want an apple. You guys want apples? Let's go get him. Let's go get him an apple. Apple? I think they're too far away. I'm gonna keep this apple. They're ungrateful, aren't they, Bob? Little shits. Well, my friends, it's a pretty good apple. Glad I didn't waste it on those assholes. A strange thing that I've noticed today, when I left the house today, I felt terrible. I was in a delirium of intense pain. My headache was killing me. I had the nausea, the flickering vision, the whole migraines package. And it was just this strange whim that I thought maybe doing something radically different will help kind of break this negative momentum. And it really seems to have worked. It's so strange. I feel great right now. The nausea's gone. I feel pretty much normal. And it's got me thinking how much of our physical state is just our mental state. I know this is nothing new in, holistic medicine circles, but I've never had a great luck with using other people's medicine, with doing the things that the wise herbalists or whatever say are supposed to work. But somehow whenever I do something that's just like purely on my own instinct, that just feels like the right move at that right time, I often am surprised by how well that does work for me. Today, looking back on this day, I think that I was kind of caught in some kind of mental, emotional, spiritual trap that I had been in for probably a solid week, even before the migraine started, of just this being here, doing this, doing nothing but this, and just grinding, working, trying to work, not being able to work effectively, not being able to have a flow because I'm being hampered by all these other people who are interfering with my creation. And that feeling of like being interfered with, of having the lifeblood like plugged, I'm realizing is really toxic for me. Like in a literal sense, not in a therapy speak toxic sense, but in like actually poisonous to my physical body. Seeing how quickly, almost immediately before I even left, just making the decision to go and do what I did today, instead of lounging around the house, checking my email hundreds of times and checking every platform and replying to comments and blah, 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 digital hellscape that I live in sometimes. As soon as my brain knew that I wasn't going to be doing that today, it like released me from the punishment and restored my health to me. And now I'm functional again. The craziest thing. Isn't it, Bobbert? Come here, bud. You want some apple? So right now, I just realized I'm actually sitting on top of the puke that I dropped on the ground here yesterday. Kind of a nice little poetic rhyming to that, isn't there? One thing is very clear after all these things that I keep experiencing is that there's more to life than the bottom line, the end result, the deadline, the deliverable, etc. Not just in the sense that there is more to experience in life than that, but that there are essential parts of life that are not included in that are necessary to survive. And I have often pushed that stuff aside with the thinking that I'll get to it later. I'm always getting to the good stuff later, because first I have to do the work, and I'm like cracking the whip on myself and always disciplining so I can not lie down on the ground. This is my subconscious's greatest fear, is that I will just lie down and fall asleep and die. And so it's constantly beating me with a cane to prevent me from falling asleep, because it's afraid that I'm going to, because it knows my true nature is incredibly lazy. So I've had to construct this whole anti-lazy exoskeleton mech suit around me in order to drag my innately lazy core up and make me walk around and do things. But I can't live in that mech suit. I guess is the takeaway from all this. I have to get out of the power armor once in a while. Open it up, step out, take a deep breath, get some water, walk around on my own feet a little bit, be a human being, and then, when necessary, climb back into the power armor for battle. I guess that's the takeaway from all this, because if you live in your power armor full time, you get bed sores, you get, who knows what kind of radiation sickness from constant exposure to a fusion core. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Right, Bob? So that's my revelation for today. And if you see me doing this again, if you catch me beating myself into the ground or over some foolish project that doesn't even matter, or certainly isn't worth losing my life. I need you to stop me. I need you to call me out, post a comment, find me on Instagram, send me a message somewhere. Tell me that I'm doing it again and I'm gonna die. So chill, okay? Thank you. I love you. Goodbye.
Guys being dudes. Just a couple of bros.